get that feeling of absolute dread that something is happening on your network and you can't readily tell what it is? In this video, we're going to introduce you to a tool that can help you track down just about anything called Wireshark. It's a packet analyzer program that pros use to turn chaos into answers. In less than 15 minutes, we'll guide you through the installation process and get you capturing packets right away. We're going to cover some basic filtering methods and common workflows used to hunt down communications between endpoints. The goal of this video is to get you up and running quickly, introducing you to techniques and concepts you can expand upon to start exploring this powerful program for yourself. So first things first, we've got to go download the tool itself. So for that, we're going to go to Wireshark. This is what it looks like. Today we're going to be doing this on Windows, so we're going to use the Windows 64-bit installer. And we see it downloading here. And something that's really important, I think we all need to learn how to do, is to verify our download. So we're going to go down to the Verify Download section. We're going to click on the signature file, and we're going to look up the hash for the specific file that we have downloaded. And we can see it right here. So we're going to focus on the SHA-256. And basically, we just need to make sure that the hash of the file we downloaded matches the hash we see here. So to accomplish that, we're going to switch over to our download directory, and we're going to run something called certutil. So it's a certutil-hash file, and we're going to put in the name of the program that we downloaded and use the option of SHA-256. And here we can see our hash sum for the file we downloaded, and we need to compare it to what they gave us on the website. And that looks good, so we can be assured that the package we downloaded was the intended package from Wireshark. All right, next is the install. It's all very straightforward. We're just going to use all the defaults. Keep all those checked that are checked. Don't check anything else. Just hit next. Here, just go ahead and check the desktop icon. Next. Leave it at the default position. Next. Here, you're going to need npcap installed to run this, so hit next. Then there's also USB pcap. Don't worry about that right now. Just hit install. And I'll speed up the install process here, so we don't have to sit here and wait. They're going to come up with the agreement for npcap. Now for my lab, I'm not going to check administrator only, but the other two I will check. Again, I'll speed up the install process. Next, and then finish. And that finishes the npcap, and then the rest of Wireshark will be installed. Next. Don't worry about the notes and hit finish. There you go. All right, next we're going to start up the program. So just double-click the shortcut, and you'll be presented with a list of adapters that Wireshark sees on your system. If you mouse over the adapter, this one, for what we're doing, I'm using my Wi-Fi adapter. We can see the IP address associated with the adapter and the MAC address. And you also see to the right of the adapters, at least for the Wi-Fi 1 and the loopback, you'll see a small graph displaying activity for those adapters. Last thing we want to take a look at here is promiscuous mode. So we're going to go up to our capture options, and we're going to look at the adapter that we're going to be using to capture, and we want to make sure that over here the promiscuous mode is checked. It should be checked by default, but you always want to double check just to make sure. And now we can see it capturing packets. All right, so now we'll talk about the GUI and some filter options. As you can see, there's a lot of stuff to work with here, but your main buttons are just going to be these ones on the top. I'm going to stop my packet capture by hitting this button. And then the button right next to it to the left will allow us to start capturing packets again. Right now, if I hit it, it'll ask me if I want to continue without saving, or if I want to save before I start to capture more packets because it will reset everything. I'm going to cancel because I don't want to deal with that. Next, we're going to go back to our capture options. And I just wanted to show you where the output and the option tabs were in capture options. Those will come into play later. Here in the middle, we can see all the packets we've captured during our session. We can see information about those packets, times, source IP address, destination IP address. Then down here in the lower left-hand corner, we can see details about the packets we have selected up top. Frame, Ethernet, information, again, everything you're seeing on top, except unfiltered pretty much, is down here in the lower left-hand corner. And in the lower right-hand corner, we have the hex output of the packet that we have selected up top. The hex output isn't the most helpful thing when you're first starting out. So if we go into edit and preferences and click on layout, we can change that to the packet diagram. This is kind of neat because it shows you the diagram of the packet itself, and you can click on certain parts of the packet and it'll highlight on the other side for you so you can see what it is that you're looking at in each area of the packet. Now, one of the most powerful features about this program are the filters it offers you. So if we go up to the filter bar, we can just type in ICMP and we can see all the ICMP packets that are flying back and forth from our adapter. Here I set up some traffic just so we had something to take a look at. He's going from my IP, the 172 IP, to the 1.1.1.1 IP address, along with packet length and other info. So next, let's say you know the IP address that you're trying to find in this mess. We can go up to the top, type in ip.addr space equals equals space, then the IP address that we're looking for. And this reports back any packet that has that IP address in it. But now let's say we just want to look for source, any source with a specific IP address in it. We'll go back up to our filter and we're going to type in ip.src space equal space, and then the IP address that we're looking for. In this case, we're going to use that 52 IP address. And now we can see that our packet has been filtered to show anything with that source IP address in it. Something else we can do here is create a compound filter. So I'm going to change my source IP address back to my 172.16.227.3 address. Hit enter so you can see the source is being displayed as that. And then space, ampersand, space, and then we're going to do ip.dst, and then let's choose that 23.195 address. And then enter, and you can see now we see all the traffic from our source to our destination per the filter we put up top. Another very useful thing we can do is look in these windows below, the left and right windows, and any information we find down here that we might want to filter on in our packet window, we can drag and drop into the columns up top. So let's just take this protocol and we're going to toss it right here, and you see how it automatically creates that column for you. It's extremely useful because while you're hunting around your packets and you're poking at things, if you see something that interests you or something you want to focus on, you can just drag and drop it right into the column and you can start building out filters there as well. Here's another example. We just ran to the length for this packet, and we're going to grab the packet length 46. We can use this to see the length of all the packets we're currently tracking. There are two other useful filters here. One, if you just go in and type in DNS, you'll be able to see all the DNS traffic that you have captured. And the other is going to be FTP. Now we don't have any FTP traffic, so you can't see anything. So now let's say while you're hunting around, you find an interesting packet and you want to follow the conversation between the two endpoints. Right-click on that packet, go to follow, and then click on TCP stream. First thing you're going to see is the hex dump information of the conversation between the two. Close that window, and then you'll be able to see the communication between the two endpoints, SYN, SYNAC, ACK, and so on. Another useful way to do this will be to go into Statistics, Conversations. Here we can see a conversation between two MAC addresses. Go ahead and right-click, apply filter, selected A to B, close this window. Then back in the GUI, you will see that your filters have already been applied automatically. The GUI will now be displaying only the communication back and forth between these two MAC addresses that you have selected. And of course, the time will come when you want to save your packet captures for evidence, to search through later, whatever reason. To do that, just go up to File, click on Save As, type in the name, save, and you're done. So wherever you saved it, you can just go back, look into that space. Here I put in my document, save me right there. So naturally, we want to know how to hunt down a target or to hunt down an issue using the skills that we have learned today. If I look at the traffic that I have generated, we see this 76.76 IP address. It's highlighted like that because there's some errors going on with the traffic back and forth. So for our example, I want to know what's going on with this traffic. I would right click on this packet, go to follow TCP stream, and it's going to put together the hex dump if it has anything to show me. It doesn't here, so I'll close it out. I will scroll over to the right, to the top, and then we can see more information about this conversation back and forth between the two endpoints. We have the SYN, the SYNAC, the ACK, and then the hello. You can see there it is going to lo-fi.cafe, and that is a music streaming website for lo-fi music. And the idea is, of course, if you're looking through your packets and you find something interesting, you can just click on that packet and be able to filter out the entire conversation between the two systems by doing what we just did. And you can track it all the way back to the front, assuming, of course, that you had tracking on the whole time, and watch the entire conversation between the two endpoints. Now, one last filter I want to talk about is the info filter. Very useful if you know what you're looking for. In the example we just had, we're going to look for that lo-fi.cafe. You see on the screen there, we're using the info column and just filtering on that. You can see the lo-fi, that's all we searched on. We just needed that string, and we found our site again. Follow TCP stream, close that out, and we have the same conversation that we saw before. And last thing I wanted to do was to set up an insecure telnet server so you can see how the hex dump will help you find clear text passwords. So looking through all the packets that we have that I've generated, we can see right here, ports 23, that's my telnet server. And we can see the conversation going back and forth, follow TCP stream like we've done before. And here in the hex dump, you can actually see the username and password that was used to log in to the telnet server. And we can see this because, of course, the transmission was not encrypted. This is why you always want encrypted transmission when you're throwing information back and forth, especially important stuff like usernames and passwords. I hope you enjoyed this quick introduction video into Wireshark. The plan is to have more quick introduction videos to commonly used and important tools for cybersecurity, and then eventually I'll circle back around and do deeper dives in these tools. But if you guys like these quick videos, let me know down in the comments and I can make some more. If you have specific tools you want to see, comment on those too, and I'll see what I can do. Thanks for sticking around till the end, and I'll see you in the next video.